Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo here on Sunday evening. It is pretty late for Chihayafuru. Last time we watched episodes 2 and 3 of Chihayafuru. This time we're gonna try and watch episodes 4 and 5. That said, it's been a really long day. As I said, it's evening. It is 7 p.m. right now, and a little bit of change. Had the big two-part JoJo's finale this morning, and then editing that with all of the fun stuff that I did in there took a lot of time. And then I did Vinland Saga. And now, finally, Chihayafuru. Luckily, or good thinking on my part, I realized yesterday that shit was going to get real if I didn't do something about it. So I watched TBK yesterday, and it's already been up. So if you're a patron, you know what's going on. But if you're not a patron, well, it's not going to matter to you, except that I might seem kind of tired in this video. And that's because I'm kind of tired. I'm sorry. But I still want to get Chihayafuru out, and I still think I've got enough gas left in blah, 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 blah. Contradicting myself. Blah. I still think I have enough gas left in the tank to at least get through episode 4, if not 4 and 5. Hopefully 4 and 5 will work out. That's what I'd like to do. So, last time on Chihayafuru, I got sucked into this show for realsies. It really grabbed me, and it's awesome. We continued to follow the young trio as they enter their first competitive team card competition and do pretty well. Have some interesting times together, and then the twist is that he has to leave, and so they're all split up. Then I've forgotten his name, so I'm just calling him he. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, okay. We'll get it soon, I'm sure. And then in a beautiful scene, they go over to his house, and Chihaya requests, or more aptly, demands one last serious game of karate. And of course, he obliges. And they end with this beautiful sentiment that as long as we have karate, we'll see each other again. And it's lovely. It's lovely. And we know it's true because, well, the show goes on, and we've already seen 2 of them meet up again, so why not 3? In any case, this show, as I said, it really reached out and grabbed me in the last episode. The emotional moments, the depth of characterization on, I forget his name too, kid who wasn't very nice in the first couple of episodes. The depth of characterization on him, he has a long way to go if he's going to be a character that we can get behind and root for, which is, I think, what they're going to do with him. They've put him in a position where he has a lot of room to grow, a lot of things to realize and come to understand about the world, and that's kind of awesome for a supporting cast member. And then Chihaya herself is super endearing. Young version is super cute, super like gung ho, and nothing's gonna stop her, and she's great. She just is herself purely in every situation, and doesn't care what anybody else thinks, and it's lovely. And I love her for it. So, my expectation is that we touch on the split, and then we jump forward in time. But it's quite possible that we spend a little bit more time in the in-between stage, and build up some of the feelings that these characters went through when they were split. For example, what did Chihaya go through during that time in between? If she remained interested, maybe even obsessed with Karuta, but had nobody around her to really talk to about that, or relate to about that, or even perhaps be able to express that to. We know she can't really express that to her family without, and like get any support from them. So that could be interesting too. At this point, I'm in on the characters and I'm in on the show, so it doesn't really matter what it does. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm probably going to enjoy it. So, and from what I've heard from comments and people in Discord, the show just keeps getting better, so yay. Love it. All right, let's jump on in to Chihayafuru episode 4, and we'll see if we want to do episode 5 once we've seen it. Cool. There will be multiple versions of this reaction video. You can find the picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the description down there. Timer-based version up on YouTube as usual. We'll have discussion at the end and a beep timer at the beginning to sync up with your own media if you want to do that. And if you want to do that, You should get it ready because the beep beep timer is going right here. Okay, so is this the moving? So we are touching on it, at least. Ooh. Saying goodbye and... Yeah. Who this? Oh, hi. Oh, alright. Of course. I believe you. It's time to say goodbye. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, this feels like time skip time. Ooh. Yep. Bingo. Because it's late, I've switched from caffeinated beverages to water. I wonder what those letters on the backs of their shirts mean. Are they the first syllables of their last names? Or do they spell something out that I just don't recognize? So badass. You could never convince somebody that this is as badass as it is. You just couldn't do it. But it is. They bask in the peaceful light of the ever shining sun. I assume that's the start of a poem. I assume that every episode title is the start of one of the poems. And they've got 100 to work with, so. Just having an extended flashback. Arata, that's his name. Assuming he's been practicing and playing. So they're still playing together? Yeah, that was what we said. All those years ago. Ooh, nice. She's pretty close. Apparently she's not that close. Because I love Karuta. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's his name? Taichi? Yeah, it is. Because I always think Tai Chi. What? Don't agree to it, Taichi. But he's gonna have to. Just a childhood friend. Frenemy. Arata? Yeah. I wonder if she's ever reached out and made contact. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Keeps pulling you back, doesn't it? I love him. It always is, isn't it? Very much like Sangatsu and Shogi. Will it? You've seen the fire in her eyes. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was. What changed? I assume that he thinks he just got caught up in the moment. And it begins. So let's see what's changed. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. It's very, very much like martial arts. The ha has a dual purpose. Endlessly. Wow. And those were tears, not sweat. She's tall. Oh. Oh. Okay. Reaction time. Yeah. Wow, that's actually really smart and really cool. The evidence is right in front of you, right? Me mad. Mm-hmm. But she's polite about it. Mm-hmm. Huh? She requires fuel. Oh no! Gotta go further. Gotta find some chocolate. This is mission critical, dude. Oh, Godiva. Yeah, that's a lot of money. They sell relatively cheap chocolate there. Relatively affordable chocolate there. But he's gonna buy the nice stuff. Because deep down, he's a nice boy. Those were expensive. Stop it. Yeah, they were expensive. This is a great quirk. She needs her sugar. Wow. Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Although a lot of that's water weight. Yep. Damn right. Really? Oh! Yeah, that's creepy. You're a weird one, Doctor. But I like ya. Aww. Of course. God, the music! That little riff is so good. Hmm? Hmm. Nice. Hmm. Who have we got? Okay. Yeah, he wants out just as much as she does. Uh-huh. Sorry, unfortunately, that random high school girl is kind of the main character. So, uh, her card. Hmm. So those thumps that we heard before were practice thumps. All right. Yeah. Oh my god, the tension is building. Oh, this is fun. Oh, he's fast. The flip side, eh? Wow. Almost. But almost the wrong card. Getting out to an insurmountable lead. But will you get it? Or will she get it before you even hear it? Hmm. She's putting her best card on his side. Because she's gonna get it. She knows she can get it. But because his plan, yeah, because his plan is to take it from her, this is a blow to him. It's a reversal. Oh, that's so smart. Take this. Oh, another piece of great music. And the panning on this audio is great. With the guitar hovering in the right and these whistles. Or I guess they're flute. Those look like pretty even stacks to me. Oh, that motif! Hey. Uh-huh. And she loves it too. So this is the best thing in the world for her. No. Focus on the ear. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's because cards is fun. How many cards are left? 2? What's gonna happen? Ooh, yeah! Get it, girl. Get it, girl. She will always win that card. Hey. Time to make a club, buddy. Hmm. She's been putting it off until then. Oh my god. Alright, what's gonna happen? Will he pick up? Yeah, she's running through it, but oh, what if it's a misdirect and he's moved out and there's just some rando living there? Ah, it's not. Has he given up Karuta? Please don't say who. He did sob. When he lost his grandfather? What could have caused him to quit? Yeah. Back into the darkness. No. Ah! This whole episode was so upbeat, and then ba-boom! Rock Chihaya's world and our world at the same time. The one thing that she was convinced of, and by extension so were we, is no longer a thing. Not only is Arata not happy that she's gotten to Class A, but he doesn't even want to speak to her. She's the way he spoke, it's as though she's being a reminder of something he wants to forget. I assume it has to do with the loss of his grandfather. I assume, but it probably goes layers deeper than that. Now, I had a thought in this episode, specifically when she wins and jumps out the door and hugs Taichi. Here. And it was a thought that I had because earlier in the episode I said it reminds me of Sangatsu quite a bit, with the whole class ranking and desire to move up. But that's a classic for any sort of sports or show like that. But I realized at this point in the episode that it's like a polar opposite of Sangatsu. It's like a mirror of Sangatsu, at least in terms of the protagonist and the way that they interact with the world, which is the foundation of the story, of course. In Sangatsu, the protagonist is defined by his darkness a lot, and his story is very much one of someone harboring a lot of internal turmoil, allowing light from the outside world in. The family that he meets and interacts with is very much the light in his life, going so far as in the early seasons to bring a almost black and white, super desaturated world that he lives in into brilliant, vibrant color as he goes on and learns to love again, kind of, and to treat himself okay from these wonderful people who he meets. But so far, Chihayafuru gives me the same kind of vibe, but in reverse. Chihaya is too good for this world. She is the bright, shining light that illuminates this world, that shines on the people she interacts with. And in doing so, she's also she's the glue of the story, in that it's not that people want to help her, but in that she can't help but help others and try to be there for them, right? So, but also to try and convince them to do the things that she loves and that they love. So here with Taichi being reluctant to get back into karate, he sees that brilliance in it when he sees her playing and goes, it looks fun. And now with Arata shrouded in darkness, very clear visual contrast between Chihaya, who is literally glowing, and Arata, who is all wreathed in shadows. Very interesting. I have to imagine that Chihaya's eventual goal will be to shine her light on Arata and get him back into the thing that she knows he loves. If nothing else, as repayment for getting her into it. Which makes this kind of amazing and sort of wonderful. And it doesn't necessarily have to go that way, but it could. And that's pretty cool. I think that would be a story I'd be more than happy to watch. See how it plays out. Fantastic. Okay, the other thing that really struck me in this episode was the focus on the actual gameplay. Again, this is coming from Sangatsu. Sangatsu, there's not much focus on the gameplay itself, on shogi itself. Shogi is usually like sort of removed from the plot. The events that occur in shogi matter, but you don't necessarily need to go know what's going on over the course of the game. And there's none of that feeling that you get in a sports show, like who will win, who will get that next piece, who will make a capture, who will get that next card, as it is in Karuta. And here in Karuta, we have a long extended sequence where we go in depth on the emotions and the physicality and the strategy and the challenges and the way that these players mind game each other and try and mess with each other's flow and all sorts of stuff. And all of it is backed by this really easy to follow. It's really surprisingly easy to follow for such an odd and complicated game, but it's really easy to follow, and there's a clear visual way of showing who got the win in that particular round. Along with you can cut in different ways and demonstrate the difference in skill level between the players based on how fast they seem to have react and what expressions they make, whether they're surprised or they were reaching for it too and it was just a matter of milliseconds. We focus on that stuff, and that makes this show lean more toward a traditional sports show where runtime can be filled with actual matches and competition, which means that we can get hype for that stuff. And that's something that Sangatsu always lacked. And that's not to say that Sangatsu needed that. It's not that it needed that. It's a different kind of story. But it never had that kind of hype from like actually competing. It had hype for what's going to happen between characters and intrigue and fascinating stuff. But it never had this kind of, oh god, what's gonna happen hype, because I was on the edge of my stool during this episode. It was bombastic, and that's become my favorite word, and I need to find new words to use instead, but that's what it is with the incredible score, which just keeps growing on me. There's a particular musical motif that's used all the time. It's that rising pattern. I don't know what it is exactly because I'm musically illiterate, but there's that musical motif, and it is just so good. It is so good, and they've got multiple versions of it, and they play them one after another to create build-ups and tension and stuff, and it's so good. Man, that feeling when you start getting into a show and you just know that it's pulling you in. I love it. I love it a piece. Yes. So, I think it's probably needless to say that I kind of like this episode of Chihayafuru. It was a good episode of Chihayafuru. It demonstrates, in large part, what Karuta is going to be as a competitive sport when we're watching it, which should be really interesting. And we did exactly what I thought we would do. We touch on the split, fast forward to the present, and we frame all of the split as a daydream or extended flashback on Chihaya's side. And we follow that single Sakura petal out of the past and into the present, which is pretty cool. OP is a banger. Calling that now. I love how Chihaya is kind of aggressive and stuff. This whole thing with realizing that this girl is calling him by a nickname and getting mad about it and wanting to call somebody. It's fun and it's characterization for Chihaya, but more importantly, it gives her an excuse to look at her phone and consider calling Arata, which sets up later that that's not going to go the way she plans, which is pretty great. Oh my goodness. It's pretty great. It also implies that she has some unknown romantic interest in Taichi, but I'm going to say I doubt that goes anywhere, really. It might be a running thing, but I doubt it will go past will they, won't they. It just doesn't seem to be the focus of the show to me. That section where she talks about doing track because starting at the starter pistol is practice for Karuta and getting in shape is practice for Karuta. She really demonstrates how into Karuta she is. She's going to join other club activities so that she can get better at Karuta. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. She's a cool girl. And watching Taichi realize how much fun she's having and that he kind of wants to be there too is pretty great. The whole chocolate gag is a gag, and then it makes sense. The show does this a few times. It's done this a few times. It pulls a gag and then it brings it to a more serious or informative standpoint or like point. It's kind of cool. It makes sense. To get your glucose up. I think you'd probably be better served by like starchier carbs, but whatever. Slower burn is usually nice for this kind of thing. But if you just want a shot of sugar rush, that'll do it. That'll do it. Or some like a balanced meal with some protein in it or some fats. Those will burn a lot slower. Like a lot slower, and you'll feel full and have more energy for a lot longer. Sugar is really not a good food. It's really not a good food. But anyway, I'm tangenting. Let's stop tangenting. It does make sense though. And lots of athletes do eat sugary stuff in order to keep themselves going. And then this freaking call. And she flashes through all of these experiences of him and how much they contradict what she just heard over the phone as he recedes into the shadows. I thought that we would never change. That's not how people are. Good stuff. Next stuff. Let's watch the next one. I've got gas in the tank. I'm hyped now. All right, let's watch episode 5. Beepity boppity boop. Bam. All right, I have episode 5 up and ready to go. It is at 0 seconds. Picture version, discussion, all that stuff. Yada yada yada. Timer goes here. Why? They're going? They're going straight there, aren't they? Slap him up. Hey. What are manju? I don't know what manju are. I'm gonna Google it. Flour, rice powder, confection. So it's candy. Yep. I believe that. Go save him. From himself. What year did this come out? 2011. I was thinking, like, I like this song, but it sounds like it's from 2011. Right, midnight moon in my darkest hour. Light in the darkness. Oh, they're cute. I don't think so, man. I think he's gone kind of heeky. Oh. Do you have any clue, dude? I don't think you have any clue. Yeah. Hmm. I don't think. Hmm. 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 So he's continuing the thought. It's when you don't enjoy being with that person. It's when nothing goes the way that you want. When you're not having fun, and then I expect that there's going to be a but you want to be with them anyway. Take what I said back about the it won't go past will they, won't they? Yep, there's the but that I was looking for. That sounds weird. Are they at a hot spring? Awara Onsen? What you thinking about? Hmm. I don't think this is gonna go very well. At least at first. Oh. family. Hmm. He talked about them. Does he now? You run like an idiot, Taichi. He's not carrying something in his other hand, is he? I don't think so. Oh, he is. He's carrying a bag. Okay. That makes sense then. I take back what I said about him running like an idiot. Close hands, eh? Think about it. Oh, hi! Clever. Oh! Oh! You don't touch people on bikes! You're gonna kill somebody! Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Hey, flowers. Oh. She's pretty dirty. Yeah. She came for you, dude. Better not be an asshole right now. I'm watching you, Arata. Okay, good. Yeah, take him home, make some tea. Great. Good, perfect. Oh. So who is that, sister? Giving it to her instead of him. Where are your balls, Taichi? Where are they? Gotcha. Just get the hell out of here, right? Yep. No. Explain yourself at least. What that? Oh. And he's silent, blank eyes. But he doesn't want this reminder. This hurts him. Do you not understand Japanese? I can't play? Fuck yeah, it is, Taichi. No, let him. Oh, no, don't let him do that. Never mind. Fuck no, Taichi. That's what he wants. Or that's what he says he wants. Or that's what he thinks he wants. Huh? Oh, the cards? She loves him. My sleeves are wet, not just from the dew. He was out playing Karta. And he blames himself for leaving when there was nothing he could have done. Because from his perspective, Karta killed his grandfather. Shit. He just needs to realize that it's a way to reconnect with the love for his grandfather. Hmm. Yeah, how can you let go of that connection? Hmm. But he would whisper in Chihaya's ear. She left the letter? Good. Just bits and notes. The one I screwed up. Aww. And there's the letter itself. Aww. The emotion in his voice. We're gonna get a catch him at the last minute moment. How? I am a moe blob now. No, I think you did it. I think you've done it. You just don't know it yet. And out the window we see... No? No? Or are we just building it longer? Ah, I guess not. Bye, Fukui. Oh. Hey, she... Yep, there we go. Ping pong. He came anyway. But you came anyway. Ah. Me too. Taichi, you are now my favorite tsundere. You heard hers, didn't you, Taichi? Hey, I think I saw you in the OP. Very different sound than the sound I made at the end of the last episode. Fuck yeah. The power of doing something that your audience hates is that you can undo it and it feels really good. Cuz I hated that ending to the last episode. Not like hated it, but I hated that it was happening, right? Cuz I want the crew together. And so I'm rooting for them to go and talk to Arata and like make it work. And then they do, and that's your payoff, you know? I mean, it's 2 full episodes of build-up. The build-up starts when she first looks at her phone and considers calling Arata. That's when it starts. From then on, it's all build-up for this. And it works. It works so well. God, so many, like, lovely visual moments. Little bits and pieces of visual storytelling and characterization. The whole sequence with Taichi hesitantly reaching out for her hand, only to be interrupted when he zips past them on the bike. The insanity of Chihaya going after him and pulling him off of a fast-moving bicycle. By the way, don't ever do that. That's a really bad idea. Like, a really bad idea. People on bikes don't want to be fucked with at all. That's a weird machine of gyroscopic force and momentum and stuff, and you don't want to fuck with it at all. People die when you do that. Don't do that. Anyway. Anyway. So, we set up that they're going. You owe me a juice. All that jazz. Good stuffs. I do want to go through the OP and see if that girl is in it. Because there's a scene or a sequence where we zip zap zoop through a bunch of like side characters. That's her. And that's her. And then she's in the pan across. That's her. Okay, cool. So then we've got 1, 2 more. That boy, I assume that's not Wataya, because he's nowhere near as tall as Taichi, who I assume is right there. And then we've got this big boy here, the one with kind of like a baby face, shown here, there, yeah. Then we've got this guy shown with a notebook, so a mental type probably. Cool. Cool. So they're cute, like playful TZ interplay is great. It's great. I don't know. I'm ready to see where this relationship goes, no matter where it goes. I'm okay with it if it never goes anywhere. Like, all right, yeah, that's the usual. If it does go somewhere, I will be pleasantly surprised. This is very early to be getting like serious about it and confirming for the audience inside a character's head that they're interested in another character. Plus, there's the semi confirmation of her reaction to realizing that Taichi has a girlfriend. There's stuff there. So that's like a lot of stuff for this early in a show. And considering the number of seasons and the just like amount of stuff that's out there for Chihayafuru, maybe it goes somewhere. Could be cool. Please don't spoil whether it goes somewhere. I just like I'm cool with it either way. Regardless, they're pretty cute. And Taichi is such a tsundere. Completely. I love him. Not in the actual definitional sense, the tsuntsun to dere dere, but in the more colloquial sense of character who likes other character but won't admit it and acts mean toward them when pressured. The fact that she brings Valentine's chocolate to Dr. Harada is great. The face that she makes when she's doing it is fantastic. A lot of these like goofy faces that Chihaya makes are super endearing. And then this leads us into the flow of the writing and the conversations is so solid. It always seems to flow into one another. It's always just right. And then we'll talk about it in a minute, but then there are the interrupts, which are also interesting because they like put a dam in front of the river, the flow of the episode, and redirect it somewhere else. It's interesting. We'll get to it once they get to the train station, because one of them happens there. Oh, I'm out of breath. Okay. But then this flows into this conversation about being with someone, about love, right? And it starts off with as kind of a goof, kind of a gag, where he's trying to express what love is, but then he can't because, well, he's a teenager, right? Like, at least that's my reading, is that he's just a teenager. He has no clue. But then he does actually kind of have a clue in his own head. He just doesn't express it. Maybe because he's realizing it as he goes along. Maybe. But he makes, I think, 3 statements. When it isn't fun to be with that person. I don't remember what the next one is. She's ticking me off. When nothing goes the way that you want. We don't need to run, but we're running. And I don't remember what the third one is. Yeah, okay. Then it's just and yet. I think there was one more in between that I just missed because I skipped 5 seconds ahead, and sometimes the scene gets lost in that. All right, here's our interrupt. So we arrive. Taichi stretches. She's just looking off into the distance. This is the interrupt. Is the fact that she's just looking off into the distance. So the interrupt is that she's ignoring Taichi, right? And that means that anything that he said doesn't matter to her, which means that we can just jump on straight into the next part of the episode. It gets redirected by Chihaya's silence into the wonder at being in Fukui. And then she tries to push him forward, and he's like, dude, we have history, I can't do this. And then he eventually ends up giving her the sweets that he bought. I think he said he brought a present of some kind, so he ends up giving it to her. Which is very funny because I think the implication is that he says explicitly that he bought them for him. He bought them for Arata. So I think he gives them to her because he can't like stomach giving a gift to him, which I think is great. Their tension is lovely. So off we run. Gorgeous canopy of cherry blossoms. It's awesome. It's gorgeous. And then she muses whether she wants to see him or not. And from this point, we realize what's going to happen. Repeated shots of the hands close together until we get our whoosh. And then our whoosh cuts it off. I guess that's kind of another interrupt in a way. We get this kind of gorgeous moment. And then we get, I think these are jasmine. Jasmine, Hanma Kotoba. Flower language. Cheer, amiability, sensuality? Maybe. Friendly and graceful. Well, those don't seem to line up, but maybe. I don't know. I was thinking that these moments where we get flowers encroaching on the screen, in sort of like Yuri manga fashion, as they just like appear around the characters as they romance. But it's not always like romance. It's all kinds of things. There's another one a little bit later where we get golden poppies, but I want to wait until I can actually see it before. I think it's actually when the girl falls to her knees and starts crying. This little banter between them is fantastic. How he's like, oh, what a coincidence. I'm 173 centimeters too. When we just heard him say in his head, oh, damn, he beat me. Great. And then he calls him out for it. Lovely. I love that Arata doesn't, like, let Taichi get away with his shit. It's great. And then we move into the serious stuff. The letter. And then she goes into this moment, and you know it's not going to go well. We get the cuts that show that blank face. We know what's coming there. Then we get these close-up shots where she seems very comforting and super pleased to be doing this. Very content. As though she's convinced that she's already done it, right? Like, I'm going to get her out of back. I'm going to do it. He can't refuse to play Karata. We know that about him. And then the way that they fade this out and then drag it back, it's almost as though he's pushing aside the young him. It would have been more effective if they hadn't faded it out first and had actually attached that to the slide effect. That would have been really good. But instead, it's just a fade to black, hard cut to door. It works, though. He kicks the cards. And in the most brutal fashion, do you not fucking speak Japanese? They translated it, both translations work, it's the same point, but... Stop playing Karata. I can't play. There is a block between me and playing. Not, I don't want to, but I can't. Which I think is an important difference. And then at this moment, I thought Taichi was on our side, but then no, he's not. He just wants to get out of there. All right. Baby steps, Taichi. Baby steps. And then he, in sort of an interesting change up of what he was going for before, reaching out to grab her hand in a romantic gesture. Now he grabs her in a forceful gesture and yanks her away. Leaving the cards scattered there. Dragging her, until she freaking judo throws him. Get wrecked, Taichi. 173 centimeters. Get freaking shoulder thrown. There's only one frame where she actually, like, shoulders him, though. Yeah, but it is a classic judo throw. And off she goes. And runs into her. All right. So then, and she's like, don't leave these here. I get the impression that this girl really cares about Arata, if not romantic, then close. Like long time family friend, something like that. All right, let's move forward a little bit. I believe it is once she finishes what she's saying. Oh, yeah, and then this moment, the card that's chosen here. My sleeves are wet, not just from the dew. The implication is that you're wiping away tears with your sleeves. So putting that here, glorious. Glorious. Okay, so yeah, all right. Boom. I believe those are golden poppies. Yeah, that's what they look like. That is certainly what they look like. Poppy. Poppy yellow. Success. California poppy, do not refuse me. The California poppy is the golden poppy, I believe. It's my state flower, so I should know, but I don't. Yeah, it is. Alright, I'm just gonna say that I don't think that they're following flower language for these. But maybe I'm wrong and I'm just finding bad sources for the meanings of different flowers. Regardless, we finally get the full explanation. It is exactly what I thought. The loss of his grandfather, except that it goes a little bit further in that Arata was at a karate competition and therefore it's all muddled up and wrapped up in there, so it makes sense. It's irrational, but it's perfectly human and sensical for a human being to do this. And thus for a character to do this, so it works. And then we get this moment as he reminisces about his father, about his grandfather. And there's so much here. Like once you crack through this obstacle, this dam that Arata's put in front of himself, then he can realize that, like, his grandfather wouldn't want him to stop playing. His grandfather loved karate and would have supported him in it in every way. His grandfather would probably be, you know, if you could ask him, he would probably be happy that he passed away when Arata was playing karate and winning. He'd probably be proud and feel like it was passing the torch, you know? And so there's an imbalance here. There's a wrong here that must be righted. Arata must return to karate. Must. Because he loves it, because it's in his blood, because it's a connection to his grandfather that he's cut off, because having that connection to someone who you've lost is painful, but the only thing more painful is severing it and never getting it back. Such interesting writing. And let's be honest, it's simple. Like, I wouldn't be able to accurately predict as many things as I've been able to, which hasn't been that many, but a solid few. Like, he's not playing karate because of his grandfather's death. He's going to show up outside the window of the train. Little things like that. It's because they're simple, and yeah, they're used often, but I wouldn't think of them as cliches. They may be tropes, but they're tropes for a reason. I don't think that they've been overused to the point of cliche. Now, maybe the running after a train or catching somebody as they're boarding a plane it's a little bit trite. But here, it's all about the execution. Does the execution stand up? And the answer is yes. I have never seen that trope executed in that particular way, and it didn't quite happen at the timing that I thought it did, to the extent that I almost doubted my own prediction, because there was more build to it. And that's good. It makes it more impactful. It makes it more valuable to the story. It makes us feel it more. The fact that they can't hear each other outside, out of the window, but they can still understand. It's fantastic. Chihaya going from the deepest despair to crying tears of joy and snurfling. And again, when she has that moment, the light shines from her. Where is it? There, yeah. The glow. So, I guess we could say that another accurate prediction would be Chihaya bringing light back into Arata's life, right? Oh, this good. This good. This could show me like. The characters are all pretty interesting. All of them unique. The way they interact is, it oscillates between intriguing and realistic, believable, and also super cute. I knew, because the show won the poll against some other really good stuff, that this was going to be a good show. But I don't think I was ready for this. I think this is exceeding my expectations in just about every way. I mean, hell, the music alone is worth watching the show for. Now, the art and design I think is fantastic. The animation is mixed. It's often relatively static, but it does cool movements and interesting angles and interesting compositions when it needs to accent specific moments, like Arata kicking the card to cards. We have a sort of close up shot of the cards, and his foot gets really foreshortened as it sweeps through. It's pretty cool. Moments like that, moments like the pulling him off the bike, and again the art itself looks good. It just doesn't move that much, which is fine. It doesn't need to. This isn't like an action show. And they do move a lot when we're in the middle of a karate match. Although they also do some cost saving measures with like still frame, like boom, and then a like zoom out and twist or things like that, which is normal. Like, not gonna be mad at Madhouse for doing that. That's fine. But it's not exceptional in its production in terms of like quality or man hours put into it. But I think it is exceptional in terms of its presentation. Its presentation is really strong and solid, very consistent throughout, very coherent. There's a distinct divide between the outdoor scenes, the scenes at different times of day, and then there's the use of wildlife and time of year, flora and fauna to express emotion as well, which is classic in Japanese media, using cherry blossoms to express like burgeoning new hope and like growth and all that stuff, using fall and autumn, which is essentially the motif of the show. I assume because it's related to the card that is hers, to express a different kind of change, a changing of a passing of time, a changing of seasons. Very interesting. There's a lot to this show, and I like it. I like it a lot. But I think we're about done with it for today. So let's wrap this up. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Chihayafuru. Episodes 4 and 5. I hope you've enjoyed them as much as I have, and I hope, as always, to catch you in the next one next week. Peace.